why you don't need any proof to sell high ticket. So I got my first client without having any testimonials, without having any sort of proof that my strategies actually work. Yet I still closed a $500 sale at 16. And this has nothing to do with luck, this has nothing to do with randomness, with any sort of these factors. This has just something to do with a system that 100% works. The system is called the trust ecosystem. Very fancy name, right? And basically how this thing works is that you want to build as much trust as possible with your potential client, aka your lead, before you have the call with them or before you want to sell them, you know? So you might find them on platforms like Skool or Instagram, and what you do, if they have a question, you don't just write a boring answer trying to randomly close them, because this is something I really want to get into your mind. You don't ask before you give. Your ratio should be give, and then ask. So the first thing you need to do is, when he asks you a detailed question, you literally make a full video on that and send it to him, personalized for him. When he has a bigger question, you make an 8-minute voice memo of you explaining what he needs to do, you know, because this way you show dedication, you show authority, and you show that you make an effort, because no one else in this space is just randomly going to make an 8-minute voice message to a random stranger in the internet, right? But if you do this, you can already go away from all of these guys here who are like trying to ask them. They say things like, click on the link and then you need to buy my product, without, you know, them actually knowing you that well. Just doesn't make any sense, right? And so a question that I get actually a lot of times is, but Diego, what if I can't teach them anything anymore in the coaching because they've already asked me anything? Well, two things. First thing is, there are always gonna appear some sorts of questions, no matter if it's now, if it's in 5 days, if it's in 12 days, or if it's in fucking 90 days. There are always gonna be some sorts of questions that these guys have to you, you know? So don't worry about it in the first place. And the second thing I wanna get into your mind, people, they buy for authority, for accountability, and for clarity. They don't buy because, you know, they can just randomly buy your product and earn a living out of it. They buy it because they need the accountability. They need someone who pushes them. They need someone who gives them clarity, who answers them questions, who goes on weekly calls, you know, with them. And this is so important that you understand this, because if you really don't understand this, you're going to have a harsh time in coaching. By the way, there's people looking to me. Okay. Anyways, you know, it's just this basic concept of you give before you ask. You give them value, you give them value, you give them value. You hop on literally 1 hour, 2 hour calls with them to give them as much value, as much clarity as they need in order so that they can progress in their goals. And the niche on this topic, by the way, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a fitness coach and someone wants bulking tips. You just literally message them an 8-minute voice message, right? Or you make them a fucking PDF document, or you make them a Google document, or whatever. Just don't be the guy who just, because I see this very often, right? Guys, they just randomly write the answer with zero interest. They don't reply in 3 days. You know, because in the trust ecosystems, you know, the only thing you want to do is you want to build as much, you want to basically make these guys love you. You want to build as much trust as possible, and you can only do this if you're showing real dedication, if you're showing that you're really making an effort, if you're also not like pretending to be their boss, but if you have the same kind of humor, if you just genuinely be yourself, but you still show authority. You know, you get my point. I think that this makes really much sense in your brain right now. The trust ecosystem, as the name says, is focused on trust only, because with this trust, first of all, they haven't seen this in the online space before, because everyone is money hungry, like brutally money hungry, you know. And if there's just one guy who's just helping them, just constantly helping them, you are already setting yourself apart from all of these other guys, you know. And from now on, everything just gets so much better, because what you have now, you have a potential client, and this client, he loves you, and he maybe wants to buy from you. And now we come into the other part of the trust ecosystem. How do we actually close those clients? Because this is the question that you are asking yourself right now, right? This is the question which you want to be answered. You have seen the title. You want to know how you can close high-ticket clients, whether it's $500 or it's $1,000 or it's $2,000 or it's $10,000. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because they all go through this trust ecosystem, okay? This is exactly why I'm here in Greece teaching you with the fucking sea in the background, even though it's already 10 p.m. But I just got this into my head and I wanted to teach this, okay? How do we close these guys? So there's one scenario that I always go through. You go on a first call, you get to know them, and you try, you know, to find out if they have any money. And you do this by asking, do you have any kind of job, or do you have any kind of occupation, you know? And if they say, yes, I work at this 9 to 5 or at an insurance company, you know, okay, this guy has money. And also, you know, if it's some guy from South Sudan or something, he probably doesn't have any money. So what you do, this also is something to do with moral and with, you know, the trust ecosystem. If it's someone who doesn't have money, you help them anyways. You help them to get to their desired situation anyways. And instead of, you know, charging money for it, what you're charging is a testimonial, okay? And here's where it gets really interesting. No matter which lead it is, no matter if it's a guy who you can sell to, or if it's a guy who you can't sell, doesn't matter, because from the guy who you can sell, you can say him, I'm going to help you, but you are going to give me a review. You're going to give me a testimonial, so that I can literally see, you know, that other people literally can see that I've helped you, because this is totally fair, you know. He gets help for free and you get a free testimonial. And then if it's someone, and this is the interesting part, if it's someone who you want to sell to, who you know, okay, this guy is qualified, he has money, he is over 18, so he doesn't have to ask his dad. Boom, okay. So you go on a first call, you get to know him, you want to know. We already did these steps. If he has no occupation, if he makes money online, okay? We already know these things, right? So the next thing we want to do is, on that first call, he is going to ask you questions, you know, over the topic. If it's fitness, he's going to ask you bulking tips. He's going to ask you, you know, how to, you know, make the perfect shake or anything like that. If it's business, he has questions to guys like me, you know, and you're going to ask these questions in detail. You're going to ask these questions. You maybe prepare some, you know, you show something on the Miro board, or you show something on Canva or anything like that, so that you make sure that these guys 100% understand what exactly you mean. Now, at the end of the call, you are going to give him some actionable steps. So what you do is you schedule a call at the same day, but in 1 week with them. So when you have had a call on Saturday 10 a.m., do it 1 week later at the same time. And until then you give him actionable steps. You say, okay, you're going to drink this shake 7 times a week, you know, every day until we meet each other again. I'm going to send you the document, and you just make all of these actionable steps. And once you've done these actionable steps, here is where it gets interesting, because you now have sent him the actionable steps, you now have scheduled the second call, and the second call is the big win, because the second call is the day where you are going to make a fuck ton of money when you're using my system. So what exactly are you doing before the second call? Are you preparing anything? There are two things you need to consider. Three things. So the first thing, it's just that you always text him. You text him on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, on Thursday, and on Friday. You text him, yo man, how is it going? Do you need any help? If you have any questions, then just, write me write me the question in WhatsApp or whatever. By the way, this is another tip. You can 100% get his WhatsApp, because you have one when you have got this guy's phone number, because it's way more like a bro, because only his family has this. But you're going to be to stay him updated. You're going to write him messages. Yo man, how's it going? Here's a 2-minute voice message or anything like that. And the reason this works is because it shows again dedication. It shows again that you make an effort, and this is also everything this trust ecosystem is about. So this is the first thing. Second thing, you prepare something before the call. You prepare the next actionable steps, or you literally prepare some presentation before the call, for this specific client, and so that that the call is a structure, right? Because if the sales call doesn't have a structure, that you might not be as professional as you think. The third thing you need to do also, we're gonna repeat everything, we're gonna summarize everything at the end, by the way. The third thing is, before the call, let's say on Friday, before you have the second call with them, what you tell them is you make them a voice message. Yo man, I really think that you fit my, hold on. I always use a script for this because it's like not a one-to-one script, but you get my point. You say something like, yo man, I really enjoy working with you. I really do think that I could help you maximize your progress in no time with my paid mentorship. So this is why I'm going to make you an offer on the call, and I just wanted to inform you if that's okay. If it isn't, so just let me know if you're interested, or if you have any questions. You make them a standard voice message like that, because it's a voice message, builds more truth. Second thing is, you ask for permission, meaning you don't feel needy, and you say that you could genuinely help them, because you genuinely can. Don't lie, never lie, be 100% transparent. When you know that you can help someone, then don't add details or anything, because you already get lead and you already genuinely think that you can help him. And so when he says yes, that he's interested, what you're going to do, and this is really important, is on the call, at the start of the call, you're going to mention it again. So I just wanted to ask you again if it's okay if I make you an offer or whatever, something like that. And then you go over the actionable steps, you review the actionable steps, and what you're then going to do after this is you make him the offer. I can get you to 100 subscribers in 90 days, no problem. I can make you your first $5,000 in 90 days. I can help you get your first sale in 30 days. An offer like that, don't overcomplicate it, because I see a lot of shady offers which just look really, really weird. So don't do that, okay? Don't do that. Keep it simple. Keep it aligned to your niche. I by the way also have an offer document where you can define your perfect offer. Just comment me offer into the comment section. I'll send it over to you 100%. Good. So now that you have built so much, literally so much trust with him over 1 week, Obviously not everyone has the money to buy mentorship, but like I did this first try with no experience. I just had this system. I knew that it worked because, you know, I've discussed it with my mentor, and it like instantly worked. And it's not a $20 sale, it's not a $100 sale. It was a $500 sale at the start of my journey. So this was extremely big. And so just try this out before you have your next sales call. Good. If you want to get into direct contact with me, DM me something on Instagram. So just tell me, hey bro, I'm Jaden from YouTube. I want to work with you. Or if you like genuinely have any questions, just ask me those questions. I love answering questions because it's my dedication and it's my fucking passion, okay? I love this business model. I love helping everybody. Just send me a DM. Here is my Instagram. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe for more free value, free sauce, and like this video.